How does a PVDN work, and how is it different from other internet products? The expression PVDN stands for Private Virtual Data Network, and this video will explain what that means. To understand how a PVDN works, it is necessary firstly to consider the basic structure of the internet, or as it is commonly referred to, the cloud. The function of the cloud is to allow any computer to connect to any other computer. The word cloud refers to the fact that neither computer needs to know anything about how to find its way through the cloud. As long as one computer knows the domain name or IP address of the computer it wants to connect to, the cloud will do the rest and form the connection. There are many different protocols that form the basis of the internet and allow it to function as a cloud, able to interconnect billions of computers simultaneously. Most of these protocols are not visible to the average internet user, but there is one protocol that is. You will see its symbol in the top of your browser in the address bar, HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP stands for the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Adding the S to the end indicates that the transfer has been secured by encrypting it. This is the protocol that powers the World Wide Web. This protocol is used to transfer data of almost any type from one computer to another, including web pages, which is why it appears in the address bar of your web browser. This is also the protocol that the PVDN uses to move data around seamlessly from computer to computer, including mobile devices. But to do so, the computers must first form a HTTP or HTTPS connection through the cloud. So let's discuss how computers form HTTP connections in order to use this protocol to move data from one computer to another. In many ways, the way a computer forms a HTTP connection in the cloud is the same as how a phone call is made. In a phone call, one person initiates the call by dialing, but once the call is started, the voices travel in both directions. Likewise, in the cloud, a HTTP connection is always initiated by one computer, but once connected, the data can travel in both directions. This simple concept is fundamental to how the cloud works and is vital to the security of the cloud. Let's see how that works. The computers that connect to the cloud can be divided into two broad categories: devices and servers. Devices come in many varieties, including personal computers, laptops, tablets, and mobile phones. All of these devices are configured to be able to initiate connections, but not accept them. To use the analogy of the phone, they're like a handset that can only dial out, but can never receive a phone call. Servers, on the other hand, are designed primarily to accept connections, but they can also initiate connections to other servers. Remember that once a connection is established, data can flow freely in both directions. Because servers accept connections, they need complex firewalls and the help of IT professionals to keep the baddies out. Devices, on the other hand, simply refuse all connections to prevent unauthorized access. Unless a baddie can trick a user into connecting to their server, the device is safe. This is why you can roam from one place to another on the internet, connecting to web servers, and feel that your laptop or mobile phone is safe from attack. You choose which web server to make the connections to, and as long as you only connect to the ones you know, then you are safe. This system works well in allowing a device to connect to a server and exchange information with that server. But what if you want to connect two devices safely and move information between them? This can be done fairly easily on a private network, but what about out on the cloud where the baddies are? This problem has been solved by all of the major internet software service providers, including manufacturers providing backup services, including messaging systems, including social media sites, and including cloud storage providers, to just name a few. All of these internet services are able to share data between your devices by accepting connections from your devices and transferring the data via their service. This is a great and simple system and has served the internet well, but it has two great disadvantages for the owner of the device. The first is privacy. Let's look at an example. A typical device manufacturer providing backups and connectivity between devices would use this approach. Needless to say, all of the information, whether a short message, a document or photo, is available to the vendor providing the connections and storing the information. This information, once gathered, can be kept by the Internet Corporation forever. The second problem is vendor lock-in. Generally speaking, to allow this method of connection to work, you are stuck with a single vendor. Taking another vendor offering the same service as an example, they will see your data located on a different set of servers. Trying to move data between devices and services from different vendors is usually somewhere between difficult and impossible. This is where a PVDN comes in. A PVDN is like your own private server on the internet. It provides a place in the cloud that all of your devices can connect to. Once devices are connected, data can freely flow from one device to another, allowing backup, synchronization, and universal access to documents. It avoids the issues of privacy, as the PVDN belongs to the owner and is not accessible to anyone else, not even the company that hosts the PVDN. So what about the problems associated with servers, security, and the costs of maintaining a server in the cloud? The PVDN gets around this by employing container technology and encryption. Owning a PVDN is like renting an apartment. You own a small part of the server, a container, that is like an apartment in an apartment block. It is private and you're the only one with a key. The server, like the apartment block, is protected at the front door, keeping the baddies from getting anywhere near your container to attack it. The most precious data that forms your PVDN is stored within the container in encrypted files. Even server hosts, like the owners of the apartment block, cannot access your data. It is like having your own safe with your own combination in your apartment, safe from anyone who might, for some reason, need to access your apartment. This set of encrypted files contains all of the essential data to run the PVDN and allow it to link all of your devices together. We call this container and the data services it provides the PVDN Hub. But what about large files like documents, photos, videos, etc.? Can the PVDN Hub store large-scale data files? The answer is no, the PVDN Hub can't, but the PVDN can. The PVDN Hub is designed to handle the small data like calendar entries and contacts, but it does manage the storage of files. In a PVDN, files are generally stored in an encrypted format in the cloud, using one of a range of cloud storage providers. One of the big advantages of a PVDN is the range of storage options available. The PVDN owner can decide where to put their files and how many backup copies to keep. The PVDN will ensure everything is backed up and safe. When a file is copied from a device into the PVDN, an encryption key is generated. The file is encrypted, and the encrypted copy is moved directly from the device to the cloud storage provider. The location of the file, the encryption key, and a cryptographic hash of the file are then stored in the PVDN. Note that although your data is stored in a public place, because it is encrypted and only you have the key, it is unreadable and of no value to anyone, good or bad, who might come across it. Any other device connecting to the PVDN, on the other hand, can access this file by getting the location of the file, the encryption key, and the cryptographic hash of the file from the PVDN Hub, and using this information, copy the file from the storage location and decrypt it for local access. In this way, any files stored by the PVDN are only available to devices connected to the PVDN. Thus, the data network is both private, because no one can access the unencrypted data outside of the network, and virtual, because there is no actual server or special network infrastructure involved. This results in a fully working network that is secure, no data is exposed outside the network, inexpensive, no special infrastructure is required, unlimited storage, just add as much inexpensive cloud-based storage as you need, flexible, you can add as many devices from almost any vendor simply by downloading the app onto each device and have as many users as you need. And easy to use. The PVDN software manages all of the data synchronization and movement required for user-friendly, non-technical user interface components. But doesn't the user get locked in to using the PVDN? No. At any time, the PVDN owner can cease use of the PVDN by simply downloading the PVDN Hub data in an unencrypted format to a PC or laptop. Likewise, if preferred, they can use the PVDN to download all of their documents and move them to a new location in either an encrypted or unencrypted format. Hey presto, your data is yours to do with as you please. In this way, the PVDN will guard and organise your data and make it available on all your devices anywhere in the world, but just as long as you choose to use it. If you change your mind at any time, the data is back on your devices, where you can decide what you want to do with it.